Hoping to get the Canon EOS R6 sooner than August? Sadly, that's not going to happen, but I do have the actual shipping date. Let's get into it.
Delivering informative capability-based reviews and tutorials on camera gear, filming techniques, and content creation.
Hi, I'm Simon, and welcome to The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss out on any news. And all the links to everything I talk about in this video, including any gear discussed, are placed in the description down below. But before I get into this afternoon's news, a reminder that I'm giving away this EF 50mm f1.8 lens. Contest ends July 31st. Subscribe to my channel for your chance to win. That's it. You don't have to jump through hoops or anything else. I do have more details in the description down below about the contest, or you can watch this video here. Earlier today, we provided you with the Canon EOS R5 shipping date, which is July the 30th. That's for the United States, and Japan will get it before the end of the month. But still, we don't have any information on Europe yet. Now, the R6 will be shipping starting August the 27th, almost a month after the R5. The UK prices for these cameras were leaked earlier. The R6 body will cost $24.99. Pair it up with the 24-105 in kit form, that's the f4 to 7.1, and you're looking at $28.99. The R5 body, without any lenses, will cost $41.99. Now keep in mind, these are in pounds. US dollars will be lower, I'm just not sure how much. However, in previous rumors, we were told that these cameras, the R5 is not going to exceed $4,000. And we're going to be sticking to that. We'll have to see what holds out for us tomorrow. Will we get $39.99? Will it cost $38.99, $37.99? Based on the UK pricing, I'm kind of leading more towards $39.99, although I'd love to see $36.99. Any takers? What do you guys think? Now, Canon's virtual product launch will commence tomorrow at 8 a.m. New York time, 1 p.m. London time, and 2 p.m. Central European time. We'll get the full specs, and this is the first time we're going to see those, so that's wonderful. We'll get worldwide pricing and answers to many of the questions that we've been asking these many months. Thanks to everyone for supporting The Ordinary Filmmaker. It's been a wild ride. I never thought I would see so much hype over a single camera. And then, of course, after this is over, it all begins again in 2 weeks or 3 weeks with the Sony announcements. And then Nikon. And then Panasonic. Of course, by the time that's done, we'll be getting into the delivery of these cameras, so it's going to be absolutely crazy. As we're on the eve of Canon's R5 and R6 announcement, I find myself reflecting a little bit. Reflecting on what I thought I would accomplish by starting a YouTube channel. When I first started, I thought, I'm watching Camera Conspiracies, Peter Gregg, Gerald Undone, Tony Northrup. And after a while, I kind of said to myself, well, this doesn't look that hard. How hard could it be to start a channel? What could possibly go wrong? And sometimes that is where ideas come from. And we're not always successful, but from that comes the impetus, to get up and try something. And sometimes we fail, and sometimes we fail miserably. I often remember or think of this picture I saw online. It's called, I forgot what they call them, but you often see these pictures or posters in an office, and it'll say leadership, and they give you some inspiring quote below it. But I came across this one, and it showed a ship, and it was in the ocean, and you could see the front part of the ship was sticking out of the water. The back end was obviously sinking. And the quote below was, "Sometimes your life merely serves as a warning to others." And I read that, I think I was around 34 when I read that, and I liked it because, we're not always successful. You can try harder and do better, but sometimes the harder you try, the more foolish you look. And I think that's a way of suggesting that, yes, try hard. How hard can it be? Well, let's try. Let's give it see how it works, and if we're successful. But at the same point, do a bit of a reality check, and as you start to do it, ask yourself, am I just making a fool of myself, or is this something that I'm actually okay at? Is this something that is providing a value of service? Am I improving? Am I developing new skills? And that was one of my goals, is to develop new skills. The run and gun work that I did, I was pretty good at it, but I probably used a whole lot less of Final Cut Pro and my Mac producing that stuff. I've had to learn a whole lot more. Being in front of a camera has been very, very difficult work. Now I can look into the camera and I'm not afraid. I'm seeing you guys, I'm seeing David, I'm seeing Peter, I'm seeing Paul, I'm seeing Jen, I'm seeing all of you guys, and I'm talking directly to you. And I'm getting better at it, and I feel good about that. And I look at the milestones. I got monetized within the first 2.5 months. I got to 5,000 subscribers, I think, within about 6 months. And here I am on the edge of 9 months, and I've got almost 10,000 subscribers. And my videos are getting better. My effects are getting better. My audio got better. My studio's getting better. Everything with each video, I try to improve something just a little bit. And I can see by the number of views that I'm getting, the average watch time, I would say on average, 50% of you stick to at least the first third of the video, but I've seen that go up to almost 60%. Now, obviously, when we get to the behind the scenes piece, for whatever reason, traffic drops off a lot. But I find that these behind the scenes pieces are very helpful to a lot of you. You like it because you're getting to know me a bit more. I'm also providing that information on content creation. So instead of doing videos on just doing one-off video on content creation, as I go through, as I figure, oh, this would be a good lesson to teach, or this would be some good information, I just slap a behind-the-scenes piece on the end of the video, and I think it gets more viewership, and which means more of you are able to watch it. Otherwise, they just don't seem to get surfaced as much. So that's a little trick I've been trying as well. But I'm stunned at how well things have gone. I did know, honestly, I did know going into 2020 it was going to be a big year. Canon was going to release their flagship, so was Nikon. We were going to get amazing cameras from Panasonic, from Fuji. And I think I was expecting Canon to be the biggest news maker back then, because we were going to get the 1DX Mark III, but we were likely to see a refresh. We were likely to see the EOS R Mark II, the RP Mark II, and maybe some other cameras. So we were really expecting Canon to do a lot, because Canon hadn't done a lot previously. And of course, Sony as well. But then when this situation hit, and for lack of a better words, the worst economic global downturn since the 1930s, everything changed. We've had delays all over the place. We've had Olympus shedding part of their camera division. And there's fear that Nikon, Mitsubishi might shed Nikon as well, and I certainly hope not. I love Nikon. They've been around a long time, and I really don't want to see any of those sort of changes. But I understand it. I understand that the camera market is shrinking. But if we look at all the news that has come out, the one thing that surprised me most this year is not the R5, but that instead of Canon being absolutely quiet, they've been beating those marketing drums. Now, it started on October the 24th with the development announcement for the 1DX Mark III. If you remember back to that, that was very detailed. I mean, it was very, very detailed. There was probably some 20-odd points that they mentioned, enough to make us go, wow, this looks interesting. Now, Nikon, on the other hand, did give a development announcement as well, and that's great because we know you're working on something, but it was more like, it's almost as though they took the camera and just draped a tarp over top of it. Yes, we're working on it, but we're not going to tell you what is going to be in it. So that showed a slight change there. And then as we came into 2020, I've never seen so much hype by a company for a product. I think Apple comes the closest, but from the very end of January, hyping up the specs, and I do believe that Canon leaked those specs, and the main reason for that is everything that was on that initial leak has been proven to be true, and every 3 or 4 weeks, Canon comes out with another official announcement. So we had the first development announcement saying, yeah, we're working on it, and it's going to have 8K video IBIS in it. And we thought, okay, yeah, but it's going to be time-lapse, right? And I understand why everyone thought that there's no way this is going to happen. About 3 weeks later, Canon Australia came out and said, yeah, it's going to be 8K. And then we had April the 20th where they came out and gave us more information, and other drips and drabs have been coming since. And that's the most surprising thing, that Canon has just been owning the news cycle like this. I've never seen anything like it. And of course, that created some apprehension amongst Sony customers, wondering, well, first of all, the A7S II had been out almost 5 years ago, and wondering where the A7S III is, leading many people to think Sony's saying nothing. And they weren't saying nothing. I mean, they did come out once a year saying, yes, we're working on it. It's going to exceed your expectations. But many felt that Canon had stolen the thunder. And I think that we're going to see the A7S III is going to be a terrific camera. That's going to be announced in a couple of weeks. But the biggest news this year has just been that constant pushing of news and rumors, and I had to pivot. My vision hasn't changed, but I started prioritizing news and rumors because it's what you guys wanted by almost a factor of 50 to 1. Look at my tutorials. Look at my videos on content creation. They don't even hit 1,000 views, but anything on the R5, wow, 1,000 views an hour. It's just completely crazy. So it's been a very interesting year for me. Now I do plan on pivoting back to reviews, tutorials as we move into August. I am planning on getting the R5. I've already been put on a list with 3 different companies, so that way I should be one of the first in the world to have it. And I'm going to do reviews a little differently. Instead of doing reviews, well, the entire camera and covering everything off in one particular video, I'm going to take individual capabilities such as detailed 4K or detailed 8K, and I'm going to talk about, well, if you're going to produce 8K, these are the options available to us. We can do RAW, we can do IPB. How does H.265 fit into this? How do the codecs fit into this? What does this mean for your computer? And I'm going to focus on 8 to 20-minute videos. Because I think when you try to cover off everything in one, it's very hard to follow everything. You're listening intently, and then you forget what's said next, and you forget what was said a few minutes ago. So I'm going to take a completely different approach, and it'll probably take me a few weeks to go through all of them. I'll probably do a couple of videos a week on that. And then after about a month, hopefully I'll have the A7S III to put through the same paces, and maybe do a bit of a head-to-head. And once I've done that with the A7S III, I hope to have the GH6 or whatever Nikon is planning on releasing. Now I know that we are supposed to be getting the Z6 and Z7 Mark II, or as I think they're rumored to be called the Z6S and Z7S, but essentially it's a Mark II of those cameras, and that's supposed to be in the fall. Panasonic GH6 is supposed to be coming in the fall as well, but expect to be announced in August. Now, one other thing I want to do is to continue to support other channels. I started not too long ago myself, and if it wasn't for people like Peter Gregg, Sean Carroll, or Craig Blair, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So I want to pay it forward. I want to help other people starting up. I think it was just yesterday, I asked you guys to do me a favor and take a look at Ian Robinson's channel, to go ahead and subscribe to him. And already we've taken him from 800 subscribers up to 900 subscribers. He does incredible work. He does a lot of astrophotography, and he's got a very easygoing way about him. I can't believe that he's still not monetized. I can't believe he's not at 1,000 subscribers. So again, what I've done is I put his link down below in the description. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and take a look at his channel and subscribe. Let's see if we can't get him over the 1,000 mark. But there's others too, and I want to continue to find young talent like myself starting out, and where I can mentor and where I can promote them as well. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel over this past year. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win this EF 50mm f1.8. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. All equipment used and notes are placed in the description box, show more box, or down arrow thingy next to the title on the mobile app.